What's going on, everyone? Welcome to a new video with me, the Angry Trainer, and I'm so excited to finally bring this one to you. 100% IV Shiny Shadow Sharpedo in Open Ultra League. I've been grinding so long to try and get the XL candy to get it up to level 50. It's finally ready, and it's going to be best buddy as well. So I only have one Shundo, and it's this thing, so I knew I had to make it, even though it's just a complete meme. It's got crazy high attack, but super low defense, and obviously with the shadow form, it's even worse, so it's just a complete glass cannon. Probably like the ultimate glass cannon. It's ranked 321 in Open Ultra League, so absolutely terrible, and it's ranked even worse in the Remix Cup, so might as well try it out in the Open Ultra League against the big boys, see what it can do. So as you can see here, it maxes out with the best buddy boost at 2,495. It's got some good matchups, you know, Talonflame and Nidoqueen it's going to absolutely destroy, but obviously it's going to get completely crushed by Charm and counter users. But we're going to be running it with the standard moveset of Waterfall, Crunch and Poison Fang, and as you'll see in the video, the Waterfall damage is so oppressive, even against things that are resisting it. It's really good. But anyway, we're going to be pairing it up with Talonflame, everybody's favourite. I'm not the biggest fan of using it myself, but it covers the fighting and the fairy weakness, so it makes a lot of sense. And we're going to be running that with Incinerate, Flame Charge and Brave Bird as usual, and that is a 100% IV level 50. And then finally we're going to be pairing it up with Trevenant, so another thing that resists the fighting types, and it does have some play against the fairy types as well. And this is a rank 92 in the Ultra League, so it's a bit XL as well. Shadow Claw, Seed Bomb and Shadow Ball as the moveset. So this team in general was very glassy. And I went about 50-50 with this team, which was a bit of a surprise, really. Most of the battles that you're going to be seeing are going to be wins, as the losses weren't very entertaining. So a really great lead for the first one. We've got Venusaur in the lead, and they swap in a Regirock. So straight away, in comes the Sharpedo. We've already done about half health with 3 waterfalls. We're obviously going to have to shield this up. Focus Blast will definitely be taking us out. And see if we can waterfall this thing down before it gets to another move. We do. So goodbye, Regirock, and what a great start. So see what they want to come back in with. It's probably going to be the Venusaur. And we're going to go for a Poison Fang, of course. This will be doing neutral damage, and I expect it to do a decent amount of damage considering, so not too bad. And then we're going to get to another Poison Fang. Let's see if they want to shield this one up. I expect they might let it go through considering we've got the Talonflame there, so they do let it go through, and we're getting them into the red, and we're almost able to take them out with the Waterfall. So the water type nearly taken out Venusaur, coming with the Talonflame. We got through the Incinerate, so the Venusaur will be going down. Obviously a Sludge Bomb's not going to take us out, and they have a Gengar in the back, so it's looking really good for us. We're going to be able to get both of their shields out of them with the Talonflame, I imagine, and then we'll just swap into the Trevenant, and we should be able to get to a Seed Bomb and take them out. They are throwing their energy, so we will just let this go through. It is just a Shadow Punch, so we'll be able to survive that and get to the next Flame Charge. And like I say, we're just going to come in with the Trevenant after that, likely just get up to a Seed Bomb. We should be able to take them out considering we've got a shield left. So with this team, I was initially, as you can see from the start, I was leading Talonflame, and then we was going to hope that people would swap in things that maybe we could swap the Sharpedo into, like the Regirock. But after a while, I did swap out the leads. We ended up having Trevenant at one point, and then eventually we settled on having Sharpedo in the lead. I think that's where it functioned best. At least that way, you know, you can just get it out there and hopefully try and win that first matchup with 2 shields, because obviously it's going to fare a lot better against things with the 2 shields and the oppressive fast move damage. So into the next battle, we've got a champ on the lead. So this is kind of a hard lead to gauge, because obviously they will be able to take us out with 1 Rock Slide, and it's obviously a baiting game, so they do go for a cross chop and bait us, which is really bad on our end. We go for the Flame Charge, and they're definitely going to be shielding this up their end, because it will probably be taking them out. They do throw up a shield, so seeing if we can get up to another Flame Charge before they get to their move, but we do CMP tire, and we do decide to commit our last shield. Don't get taken out, but it is a cross chop bait again, so well played by my opponent. He baited me twice, and yeah, not a great start for this matchup, but luckily they probably will have to throw their energy and take us out, and then what we can do is swap him to the Trevenant and farm them down and have some energy ready for whatever comes in. Even if it's something like a Talonflame, at least we'll be able to hit it with a Shadow Ball. So see what they want to come in with, and it is actually a Muck, so not good for us at all. We'll make an instant swap into the Sharpedo, and they have a Swampert in the back. So they're over farming, which is great because we actually get to the Crunch. So we're probably going to be able to take them out with this move. We've done so much damage to them, and then in comes the Muck. So this is great. They're going to have to take us out because look how much damage the Waterfall's doing, already at half health. This thing is completely OP. If it had about 10% more defense, it would be so OP. But we're still not looking in a great spot. We're coming with the Trevenant. Probably going to have to get to a Seed Bomb and a Shadow Ball to take this thing out. And I'm not sure if we're going to survive the 1 Dark Pulse. Whereas this is the XL version, we might do. I'm used to Trevenant being quite glassy in the Great League. Oh, it just survives. And can we get to the Shadow Ball? We do. And this should be doing enough damage to take them out. So really tight there in the end with the Muck there. But Shadow Sharpedo putting in the work. And Swampert not able to get off any of its energy. They shouldn't have overfarmed there. They're probably trying to go for the Earthquake. where if they could have just gone for a Hydro Cannon. It wouldn't have taken us out, but it would have put us really low, and then the Muck would have survived against the Trevenant. So into the next battle, we've got Articuno on the lead, so this is a really good one for the Talonflame. Obviously, we're going to be doing super effective, but they would be doing neutral with the Ice type, as we are part flying, of course. So they did let the Flame Charge go through, which did surprise me, but it looks like maybe they're a bit more used to this matchup than I am. We do make a swap into the Sharpedo to catch the Icy Wind, which is a questionable play, and you can see, look at that, resisted move, and Icy Wind isn't even that strong, and it did so much damage, but they bring in Registeel, which is actually one of Sharpedo's better matchups. So even though they've debuffed us, we're still doing a ton of damage. We're going to go for the Crunch. And look at that, look, we've already got the Registeel into the yellow, even though they debuffed our attack. So, and Registeel obviously is so tanky, so the power of this thing is crazy. It is, attack stat is nuts, especially with Waterfall. It's quite a strong move anyway. So that wasn't actually that bad for us at all. We're going to let the Sharpedo go down, build up a bit of energy with the Talonflame. Unfortunately, they did get to a Flash Cannon, so we probably should have just got off our energy. But it looks like we're going to go for the full farm down anyway, which is absolutely fine. And they come in with a Giratina, so we're going to go for the Flame Charge bait. And this is quite risky if they let it go through, but luckily they did shield it up. If they'd have let that go through, then that would have been game over, I would have thought. So now we can go for the Brave Bird, and it's boosted, and they do commit their second shield. So we swap into the Trevenant, and we should be able to get to a Shadow Ball and take them out. Now, this was the first time I'd actually played the Trevenant and Giratina matchup, so I was a little bit worried that a Shadow Ball wouldn't take it out, but it's going to be fine anyway. We should be able to win. We're over farming for some reason. I have absolutely no idea why. Probably thinking that we're going to need to do more damage to them for the Shadow Ball to KO. Maybe that was the reason, but I'm not really sure. We should have just gone straight for it just in case. And we do take it out, and we take the win. So Sharpedo putting in the work there against the Registeel, but we did kind of sack it in that game. So don't worry, it's going to have a lot more play in the upcoming battles. So we've got Giratina on the lead on this one, so kind of a mixed bag. They're going to be able to get to their move quicker than we will, but obviously we should be able to survive one, but they'll be able to fast move us down, so we're definitely going to commit a shield. And then they actually make a quick swap into Clefable, so that's absolutely perfect, as the Sharpedo is now going to be able to avoid the Clefable, so that's great for us. So we brought in the Talonflame, we're going to go for the Flame Charge now and just boost our attack. They are letting it go through knowing they can survive. And we are at a shield disadvantage, so it's looking a bit sticky here. I'm not sure if we're going to commit shield. We might be able to survive it. Yeah, we do let it go through. And then we go for the Flame Charge, and we do something very, very silly, which is undercharge, thinking that we can actually get through another Incinerate and we can build up some energy. But it was completely stupid, and they actually charm us down before we can get them out of here. So really bad play on our end. We come back in with the Trevenant. At least we've got some energy ready to go on this thing. Expecting to bring in the Giratina, but they have an lower Ninetales in the back. So looking absolutely terrible for us. We go for the Shadow Ball and they don't shield it up, so that's really good. And then we're going to go for the Seed Bomb here now, expecting that they will shield this one up. And they do commit a shield, thankfully, which is really good. And now can we get to a Shadow Ball against the Giratina? We're just unable to get there, so we throw the Seed Bomb, really hoping they think this is a Shadow Ball and they're going to commit the last shield, but they let it go through, which is terrible for us. Luckily, they did throw their energy, so that puts us in a bit of a better spot, but we're not looking good. We've obviously got the Sharpedo against the remaining two Pokemon, and the only way we're going to win this is if we can somehow farm down the Giratina with not very effective Waterfalls and throw a couple of Poison Fangs against the Ninetales. And as you can see, even though it is resisted, we're doing so much damage with the Waterfalls. So they go for a Dragon Claw, it's going to be doing a lot of damage, but luckily we are resisting the Shadow Claw. Can we farm it down? We're just able to farm it down with a sliver of health left. We've got the two Poison Fangs loaded. We should be able to win this one now. Are they going to shield this up? They probably think this would take them out. Anyway, they do shield it up, so we just guarantee that the second Poison Fang will be taking them out. And somehow we managed to win this game with the Sharpedo coming in absolutely clutch. Waterfalling down the Giratina and then taking the win against the Fairy type. So even though we made that big misplay, we were still able to turn it around. So that was a really fun battle. Into the next one, we've got Blastoise on the lead. So not a very good lead for the Talonflame at all. So we're going to swap straight into the Sharpedo and they actually stay in for a bit. So that's quite interesting. And then they bring in a Greedent. So that's fine. We're just going to go straight for the Poison Fang, get the debuff off and then start chunking away at them with the Waterfalls. Even though Greedent is so tanky, look how much damage we've already done to them. We're going to shield this up, thinking that we probably can either pressure a shield and then maybe be able to farm them down the whole way if they do shield it up. So we're going to go for the second Poison Fang here, and they do commit a shield, so that's absolutely fine. We should be able to Waterfall them down the whole way. See, we got a Waterfall in then when they threw their move, so we decided to commit our second shield, and there they go down. So expecting the Blastoise to come back in, and we're going to go for the Poison Fang. We didn't actually build up to the Crunch, probably could have gone for the Crunch. So see if they want to shield this up. They don't, so we weren't going to survive, so that's why we didn't go for the Crunch. And we're coming with the Trevenant, and they have a Talonflame, so it's not looking particularly great. We're going to go for the Shadow Ball. We probably should have gone for the bait here, because they're likely to shield this up, as it will be doing a lot of damage to them. They do shield it up, and then we're bringing a Talonflame, but unfortunately they are head on energy here. So see if they're going to go straight for the Brave Bird. They'll probably go for the Flame Charge first. And then can we get to the Brave Bird before they can? Unfortunately, we can't. So really unlucky on our end. We both had the same IVs, so it was just 50-50 and they won out there. So can we get to the Shadow Ball in time? And we can't, so it was unfortunate. They got to the Flame Charge just before us, but we probably would have had a struggle taking out the Blastoise as well because it had a lot of energy. And it looks like I just rage stopped the recording there. So unlucky there on a couple of occasions, but on to the next one. So we've got Umbreon on the lead, so it's a pretty decent lead for us as we're resisting the dark moves. But as you can see, look how much damage they've done to us already with just snarls, and they're resisted as well, so that's quite ridiculous. And then look at that, Last Resort does nearly all of our health. It's crazy how frail this thing is, but luckily we should be able to do a lot of damage ourselves before we go down. Doing so much damage with the waterfalls against Umbreon. And they're going to throw another one. Are we going to shield this up? We decide to shield it up. See if they want to commit their shield because the Poison Fang will probably be taking them out. Expecting that they probably will shield this up. They do. And now we're going to just see, maybe can we actually waterfall them down? And we actually managed to take them out at the same time. So it shows Umbreon the tank, the complete opposite ends there. The tanky defensive Umbreon against the high attack Sharpedo. And it was a simultaneous KO. So we had the choice to make whether we were going to bring in the Trevenant or the Talonflame. And we went for the Trevenant. And luckily we went for the Trevenant because this is a better matchup than Talonflame against Nidoqueen. So we're going to go straight for the Shadow Ball here. I like to do this against the Nidos because a lot of time they think they're going to go straight for the Seed Bomb. But in all honesty, you might as well go for the Seed Bomb because it's going to take 2 moves to take them out. But at least at this point, we've got them so low that they shouldn't be too much of a threat. So we swap quickly into the Talonflame. We know that they're going to get a Poison Fang off and debuff us, but that's fine because we built up so much energy that we should be looking pretty against whatever they've got in the back, and it's a Clefable. So that's worked out perfectly for us. We managed to get the alignment right there with the Trevenant against the Nido. And now we've got the Talonflame up against the Clefable, and they shielded that up, so they've just sealed their own fate here as we're going to go for the Brave Bird and definitely take them out. And then we're going to be able to incinerate down the Nidoqueen. So GG's there, enjoyed that one. Into the next battle against Divwoo 7. And we've got a Samurott on the lead. So this isn't actually particularly great for the Sharpedo as they've got the Fury Cutter, which is doing super effective against the Dark type. So we make a swap into the Trevenant and they come in with the Talonflame. Now you would think that this is a really bad spot for us, but this is actually good because if they let it go, then we'll be able to farm them down the whole way. If they shield it up, then we're going to have a lot of farm with the Sharpedo. So they did decide to shield it up. So that's fine with me. And then we decided to commit shield because we're able to get to another Shadow Ball. And we don't fire it, so a huge misplay there, but at least we got them to use their energy, but I'm not really sure why we didn't get that off. We're coming with the Sharpedo, and look at the amount of damage it's doing to the Talonflame. Takes that out really easy. They come back in with the Samurott, and we're going to shield this up because anything is going to take us out, even a Hydro Cannon. And then we're going to build up to hopefully 2 Poison Fangs, but we go for the first one. Really hoping they're going to shield this up, thinking it's a crunch. So they do shield it up, so that's great for us. And are we able to get to the second Poison Fang? Unfortunately, they just get to the Hydro Cannon before. So they're going to be taking us out, and obviously now we're in a bad spot because they've got the Samurott, but they make an instant swap before seeing what we bring in into Registeel. And if they hadn't done that, it would have been an easy win for them. They could have thrown a Hydro Cannon and taken us out. But now we know we're going to be resisting all of the moves from the Registeel, and we can farm up enough energy to be able to take out the Registeel and the Samurott. At this point I'm thinking, should I just commit to the farm down fully? We're going to be able to survive another move, and this way we just guarantee we can get this Brave Bird off straight away and take out the Samurott. So we farm down the Registeel the whole way, and then we're going to throw the Brave Bird against the Samurott. So a big misplay by my opponent there, making that instant swap. It's a really hard call to make sometimes, because obviously if you don't make the instant swap, and it's something that you've got like a neutral 50-50 matchup against, you're just going to give him that extra energy lead by not swapping. So really harsh on the opponent there. He had to make the call, and unfortunately it was the wrong one. And this is the lead you want to see, this or Talonflame. We've got Nidoqueen, so 4 waterfalls, and it's already into the yellow. We're just going to shield this up and comfortably farm them down. Expecting they may swap out now. They do make a swap into Obstagoon, and we're a little bit slow on the swap, which isn't great for us. I wasn't actually prepared for that swap, but obviously they were just trying to snipe us with the counters there. So they did do quite a nice amount of damage to the Sharpedo before we brought the Talonflame in. But luckily this is a decent matchup for the Talonflame. Though saying that, Obstagoon, even against Flyers, is so good. I really enjoy using it. So they let that one go through. We could have just gone for the Brave Bird there, but obviously we didn't want to risk, considering they got 2 shields. But it probably would have been a better option just to go for the Brave Bird actually. So we're going to shield this up because we know we can't farm them down with either Pokemon, so we had to take them out, and then we've got some residual energy anyway, so we'll be able to throw that against whatever they've got. They're bringing the Nidoqueen, so we're just going to go for a Flame Charge. Probably won't take them out, but we didn't want to go for the Brave Bird. They do shield it up, so that's absolutely fine. We're going to get to another Flame Charge. So that was a good call there to go for the double flame charge. So we go for the second one, that takes them out, and they have a Swampert in the back, so it's looking absolutely rosy. I'm not really sure why they shielded the Nido and then didn't double shield, so it was a bit of a wasted shield on their end, but obviously they're in a really bad spot now. My opponent goes for the Earthquake, which is a misplay. You should definitely go for Hydro Cannon in this matchup, but it's not going to matter. We're going to get the last shield out of them. So we could just take this out with the Trevenant now, but as this is a Sharpedo video, we're going to make a swap into the Sharpedo and take the Swampert out with it. So good game there. I only really left that one in just to see the absolutely devastating damage that Sharpedo was doing to the Nidoqueen. And then obviously once you can farm things down, even if you've got a committed shield, then you can use the Poison Fang and you can debuff whatever Pokemon's coming in next. So yeah, the Sharpedo did perform a bit better than I expected. It's just if you've got something like this where it's not doing a lot of fast move damage to you, you're always looking in a bit of a decent spot. So we're going to shield this one up. Likely it's just going to be a crunch, but obviously anything's going to be doing a ton of damage to this thing. We're going to go for the Poison Fang, expecting that they might let this go through, as it's not going to do a ton of damage, but we're getting the defense lowered. And then we make a swap into Talonflame, looking to maybe catch a move, which is a bit of a questionable play, but they come in with Empoleon. We're going to go for a Flame Charge, do a decent amount of damage on them. And now we're hoping we can get up to a second Flame Charge and just pressure the shields, but they do throw their energy, so that's absolutely fine with us. It's not worked out too bad. We're going to bring in the Trevenant, and we're going to look to farm the Empoleon down the whole way. Now, we don't want to use this last shield on the Trevenant here, but we should be able to survive a Drill Peck quite comfortably. So we're going to let this go through, and then we're just going to hope that whatever's in the back, this Sharpedo can do a lot of damage to. Massive amount of lag, and then we are able to farm them down the whole way. So see what they're going to bring in, and it is the Talonflame, so we're going to go straight for the Shadow Ball, expecting they're going to shield this up, but they let it go through, which is absolutely insane. Do they not remember that I've got the Sharpedo in the back there? That was a crazy no shield. Maybe they thought we were going to bait them, but they bring back in the Drapion, and we're able to waterfall them down easy, and then we're going to easily take out the Talonflame with the waterfall. Sharpedo going to town there and clutching the game out, but some misplays by my opponent there. Bit of a strange no shield on the Talonflame. So into the next battle. I am unsure how to pronounce that name, so I will not try and say it. And we have a Shadow Gyarados on the lead, and it's a Dragon Tail Shadow Gyarados as well, so really bad for the Sharpedo. We're going to swap into Trevenant, and they bring in the Talonflame. So as I said before, this isn't the worst matchup, because if they shield, then we're going to get a lot of farm with the Sharpedo when that comes in, but they let it go through, and then the alternative to that is that now we're going to be able to farm them down the whole way and have loaded energy to go. So they go for the Flame Charge, and we shield it up, and we're just able to farm them down. Bit risky, but I was pretty comfortable we were able to do it. And now we're going to go for back-to-back Seed Bombs against the Gyarados. No point going for a Shadow Ball, as it's not going to take them out the whole way, and likely they were going to shield up. So we go for the second Seed Bomb, expecting him to let this go through, and they do let it go through. So we're in an awkward spot here now. This Gyarados is loaded on energy. We don't want to bring it in against the Talonflame, of course, because they're probably going to get to 2 moves and be doing a lot of damage with the Aqua Tail. We stay in and they go for a crunch and they take us out, so that's not too bad. Quite unexpected that they went for the crunch there. I think an Aqua Tail would have done it. But they do get to a move, so we're obviously going to shield this up, hoping and praying they've got someone in the back we can deal with, and it's a Cresselia. So that is a good matchup for us, but they do have a shield advantage, and Cresselia is so tanky. I wouldn't put it past them being able to pull something out. So luckily we do have that energy advantage. We go for the first Flame Charge, they let it go through, of course. Going for the second one, expecting they're going to let this go through as well. We could have, of course, gone for the Brave Bird, but it would be very risky because then they'll be doing a lot more damage to us where we've debuffed ourselves. And we can easily take, it looks like 3 Moonblast. We should be able to survive another one. And we get through the Incinerate there, right on that move, so that was perfect for us. They go for a Grass Knot, knowing they've probably got to get to 2 moves either way. And we go for the first Incinerate. This should be getting the shield out of them, and then we'll be taking the win with the second one. So got a bit tight there at the end with them having the shield advantage, but we're able to pull off the win even with that bad lead at the start. So GG's to my opponent there. That was a good battle. So going into the next one, and as you've noticed probably by now, the Sharpedo is now leading all of the battles. So we've got a Low and Muck on the lead in this one. So depending on the fast move, this can be a decent matchup, but unfortunately they have the Poison Jab. So you can see how frail this thing is. They've already got us into the yellow, and we haven't even got to a charge move yet. So they go for the Acid Spray, and they've almost taken us out. So we make a swap into Talonflame. Absolutely dreadful start for us. Luckily, they are staying in, so we're able to get some farm up, and they do throw the Acid Spray, which we called, so that's fine. And they are staying in some more. So it's absolutely perfect. We're just going to build up to max energy, and we're just going to go for the Flame Charge, hoping that somehow we can fight our way out of this terrible situation that we find ourselves in. They bring a Talonflame in themselves, so we're going to go straight for the Brave Bird here, hoping that they think that this is a bait, but they do throw up the shield, which isn't too bad anyway. We need to get both the shields out of them. So we're going to go for a second Brave Bird here, see if they want to commit both their shields, and they do. And then we're going to make a swap into the Sharpedo, quickly get off charge move. I think we were worried we were going to get taken out there, so we could have actually built up to the crunch. But we got off the Poison Fang and did quite a bit of damage anyway. And they bring in a Ferrothorn, and I think we still have some energy left on the Talonflame. So we bring that in, see if we can actually get to a move before they can take us out, and we do. I don't know if they were trying to farm us down here, but obviously double weak, so Fire is going to take out the Ferrothorn, and they've got the Talonflame left in the back, and we have Trevenant with 2 shields. So we saved the 2 shields for the Trevenant, and that was the perfect call there. We were able to do so much damage to the Talonflame in that small amount with the Sharpedo. And we should be able to just get to a Seed Bomb and take them out here, or maybe even just farm them down. So we get to Seed Bomb, take them out. So even though we had the absolutely terrible lead, we were able to win that battle there. GG's to my opponent. So as you could see, the negatives there of using something so frail in the Ultra League, it was getting absolutely melted by those poison jabs. So anything like that where it's aggressive fast move damage against you, you are going to be struggling. And we're going to the next one, and we've got an Articuno on the lead. Now we can survive an Icy Wind, but you see how much damage it did in the previous battle. So just to play it safe, we're going to shield up. We're going to go for the Poison Fang, because we didn't want them to be able to farm us down into the next matchup. So at least this way we're putting on a little bit of pressure. We are going to be able to get to the Poison Fang, but we do make a swap into Talonflame. So a very interesting play again. I don't know if that was the right call, but we saved some energy on the Sharpedo. And they bring in the Giratina, so it's not looking particularly great for us now. Unsure what we're going to do. Maybe just go straight for the Brave Bird. They go for a Dragon Claw and do a decent amount of damage to us. So we're hitting the Brave Bird, and for whatever reason it doesn't go through. And now they're probably going to be able to take us out before we can even get the Brave Bird off. So absolutely awful. But therein lies the problem with using a Pokemon that has Incinerate like Talonflame. It can be very awkward where it takes 5 turns to go through, because you're locked into that animation, and if you accidentally tap the wrong bit, then yeah, you just wasted the energy like I did there. So we've got Giratina versus Trevenant, so not looking great for us. We go for the Seed Bomb bait. And luckily they did shield it up, so they're going to be doing a lot of damage to us here with the Shadow Sneak. So we're looking in a really bad spot. Unsure how we're going to be able to pull this one off, actually, rewatching it. So we go for the Shadow Ball, and they do shield it up, so it's fine. We come in with the Sharpedo. I forgot that we had the Crunch on there. So we're definitely going to be able to take the Giratina out with this Crunch. And then they've got the Swampert in the back again. So they're definitely going to have to throw their energy, otherwise we're going to get to a Crunch to take them out. But unfortunately, I don't think the Trevenant has enough energy. I don't think it's got anything at all. And we should be able to get up to a Seed Bomb. But they make a quick swap trying to catch, but we didn't even have the move, so they just handed us the win on the plate. And that was absolutely insane. I can't believe the opponent did that. They obviously weren't counting the moves and thought we were 1 ahead. And they handed us the win from a seemingly impossible situation. So, unfortunate for my opponent there, but a really interesting battle. So into the next battle, and we've got another Umbreon on the lead. And it looks like we did actually lag a turn there at the start. They are a bit ahead of us. I don't know when they're actually going to look to fix this game, because this has been happening for, what, 3+ weeks now? Where basically nearly every single match, you or the opponent will lag a turn, which is just crazy. So anyway, so it's got to be something to do with their servers. It's not everyone else's internet connection, is it? So it's definitely the stability of the game. I know we've got an update coming soon, so hopefully that will resolve some of the issues, because it's really unplayable at times at the minute. So in this matchup, what we did differently this time was we shielded up the last result, as we knew it did so much damage, and then we actually committed our second shield, and they made a swap out into Cresselia. So that's absolutely fine, as we're going to bring in the Trevenant. So really interesting they made that swap there. They didn't want to be farmed down with the Sharpedo, but now they made the swap into Cresselia. We can bring in our Trevenant, so that's really good for us. We got up to the Shadow Ball, and we made sure we was over farming right up until the edge of them getting to the next move. But they did actually survive it, so we decided to pull the trigger on the Seed Bomb, just because we don't want them to get us any lower on the Trevenant. They were just about to get to a Moonblast. If, for example, we let the Moonblast go through, they could have come in now with the Umbreon and probably farmed down the remainder of our health. So now they're forced to throw their energy, and we can come back in with the Sharpedo, build up a little bit of energy for what they got in the back, and it's a Talonflame, so GG's. This thing absolutely destroys Talonflame. So yeah, a bit of an interesting decision by my opponent there to make the swap into Cresselia. They should have just stayed in with the Umbreon and brought the Cresselia in against the Sharpedo. Seems weird that they would bring in the Cresselia, which is basically going to be the best answer for Sharpedo, when they had Talonflame in the back. Anyway, into the next battle, we've got Jellicent on the lead, so that's perfect, as we're resisting all the moves that can throw at us. And they make a swap into Talonflame. What? What? Surely that's got to be a misclick. I don't actually remember this battle, but that's absolutely incredible that they just made that swap. We take out the Talonflame before they can even get to 2 moves. I think it took like, what, 5 waterfalls to take out the Talonflame, so absolutely insane. They bring back in the Jellicent, so we're going to go for the bait here, thinking they're definitely going to shield it up, which they do. And now, are we going to let the Sharpedo go down? They just throw a bubble beam anyway. If that was a Shadow Ball, they would have been able to take us out, I would have thought. So a misplay by my opponent there. Should have just gone for the Shadow Ball and got rid of us, because now we're able to get the second shield out of them with the Crunch, and they're going to look to farm us down the whole way, even though it's not very effective, and Hex isn't even that strong a move. Just shows how weak Sharpedo is. We come in with the Trevenant, and we called the bait, which is a really, really big call. And now assuming this one will definitely be the Shadow Ball. So we're going to shield this one up as we want to keep the Trevenant alive. And then we're just going to go for the Seed Bomb and take out the Jellicent. So let's see what they got in the back, but I would think that this battle's over. We've got 2 full health Pokemon against whatever it is, a Sylveon. And are they going to back out? Yeah, after the lag, they finally backed out. So that was an absolute mauling there. My opponent swapping in the Talonflame against Sharpedo. I think they were so stunned into seeing a Sharpedo on the lead, they didn't know what to do, and they ended up swapping in the Talonflame, which was just absolutely insane. So moving on, we have Swampert on the lead in this one, so pretty good for the Sharpedo. We're able to do a lot of damage with the waterfalls, but they do make a swap into the Umbreon. Which we've seen is a pretty decent matchup for the Sharpedo, so we may just stay here considering we've got that energy lead on them. We did the Poison Fang debuff, so now the waterfalls are really doing a lot of damage. They do decide to shield that one up. We're going to shield this one up, as we're going to be able to do so much damage still with the Sharpedo. We may actually just look to farm this down the whole way, shield up the next move, and then we've got some loaded energy to go for whatever comes back in. If it is the Swampert, then we can throw a Crunch onto it. So we're taking out the Umbreon. I thought this was one of the bulkiest Pokemon. Sharpedo's just laughing at it. So now they bring in a Sylveon, so that's great. We managed to avoid the Sylveon. We get off Poison Fang, and they do shield it up. So we're going to bring in the Talonflame now, and as soon as they see the fire, they bring in the Swampert, and we're able to make a perfect swap into the Trevenant and catch the Hydro Cannon, just to secure what should be a comfortable win. So once again, really interesting play by my opponent to just swap out there into the Umbreon. A lot of people don't know what to do when they're seeing things that are completely off meta, so it just completely surprised my opponent, and then ended up making a swap into something which we wanted to see anyway. We knew we had the Trevenant in the back for the Swampert, and once they gave us the opportunity to farm down with the Sharpedo, then that just put us in a great spot because we was able to win that alignment. And my opponent is deciding to play this out rather than back out and save us some time, but that just gives me a bit of extra time to say thank you very much for watching the video. This is the last battle. I really appreciate it. Please like and subscribe for this spice. It's cost me 600,000 Stardust to bring you the premium spice here, so a like and a comment would be really appreciated. I hope you all enjoy your holidays, and remember, stay angry, trainers.